Peace, peace,
Go outside. You ready?
peace. You know what I love? Peace. Today's mathematics, being wisdom, understanding, all being born of power. Today's alphabet being wisdom. So today I wanted to manifest or apply my knowledge in an aspect of speaking on international law, right? If anybody see my Facebook page or my YouTube page, I've posted a lot of different, summations of the documentation that I've been working on. So for example, a nation is a group of people that come together under one plane of thought. And a state is the administrative body that that nation governs itself by. So as we say, one word can change a nation. I come with the aspect of Allah's 5% nation state. Peace, God. Allah's 5% nation state. We are Allah's 5% nation.
That's right.
Adding the word state will allow us to have an administrative body that we govern ourselves by. And that administrative body, I've been putting the information out there because I wanted people to add on to the things that I've been working on, because it's a collective. It's a collective work. And I've seen many times in this nation that things that we are to work on collectively, we've been taught to individualize. So for example, if a God or earth has a plan that they want to manifest, a lot of times they're told, yeah, God, you got to do that, man. Just go do that. As if they got to do it by themselves.
Right, teach God.
What's the point of having a nation collectively if everything you have to do individually?
Right. You're right, bro. 100% right.
You know what I mean? So therefore, we have to come
Together.
yeah, together. And we say that too often. I try to find a different way to say it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we say that too often. We got to come together. We together right now.
Right.
And the thing is that now, let me not cry this building. Let's get to the objective. So, what I've developed is a lot of entities that will help our nation expand as a nation state. So for example, pursuant to the Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of States. If this don't record, when y'all go back to Washington State and things that I'm building on, I would want y'all to research on these things, study up on them, because according to our modern history, right, it said in 1971, the gods of Earth came alive as a nation, and they started to send representatives to the United Nations to attend international affairs. And I said, yo, what happened to that? Why did we stop doing that as a nation? I was building with the God yesterday. He told me that the God Hashim, something had happened to him, and he had went back to the essence.
76.
But he was the God that was attending meetings, or one of the gods that was attending meetings at the United Nations and speaking on those type of issues. So I say, we as a nation, we have to, if one person has information on a particular topic that maybe not a lot of us are in tune with, then we have to all come together and look into what it is that God of Earth is studying, so that we can be like, okay, well, I know about that too, and I can add on to this aspect. I know about this, and I can add on to this aspect, and it has to be a collective, because if something happens to that one person, then that person and all the information goes away. But meanwhile, they had a lot of people around them that could have collectively got the information as well. So once again, I'm going to refer y'all to Messiah the Lord on Facebook, and y'all can get a lot of information on there, and Lord Messiah on YouTube as well. And I did videos as well breaking down the different entities and how the entities work. So I'm going to run down a list of the different entities. So we have the Declaration for Statehood, Nationhood, Nationality, and Race for Allah's 5% nation state. That document is developed pursuant to the Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of States. This was a convention that took place in 1933 in Uruguay, where 16 nations came together, United States of America being one of them. They came together, and most of the other nations are Brazil, Chile, Nicaragua, Panama, melanated peoples in South and Central and North America. So it's not like white people. People think like, oh, international law is Caucasians. No. These melanated peoples. So the nation of gods and earths, we got to also put ourselves in that international forum. You know what I mean? Because then we can control the world politics. As we say in our, what we teach and what we will achieve, we say that peace shall be the ultimate goal. And we shall have control of our communities on a community aspect and a world aspect. Right. You know what I mean? So we also, in this convention, is where they came together, agreed to these provisions, and put into place international laws that they all agreed on. So we have the universal constitution for Allah's 5% nation state, under agreement with our divine officers. The divine officers are the ones who will function in the different positions for this constitution to be in association with a law school in Mecca. And there's clauses within the Constitution that state that whatever rules and regulations take place at a law school in Mecca that may differ from whatever clauses are in the Constitution, the rules and regulations at a law school in Mecca will take precedence. Meaning that none of this information is changing anything that goes on at a law school in Mecca. This will simply be a constitution that can be adopted by the school to help them function on different affairs and add on to different aspects. So we have the Universal Charter for Allah's 5% nation state. This charter is going to be functioning under an intergovernmental organization known as Allah World Manifest Intergovernmental Organization, and also is tied into a treaty that we have as well. See, and all of these different documents are putting us in a place of international law so that we can function internationally with different nations. Because remember, going back to the Declaration, the 4 aspects that form a state, according to the Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of States, Article 1, it says that a state, being a person in the eyes of international law, possesses the following qualifications. A permanent population. Our permanent population, Mecca, Medina, Oasis, so forth, in all the different regions that we have, this is our permanent population.
5 boroughs is first.
Right, that's where it starts, right? That's where the knowledge of wisdom, our nation
5%.
starts. Exactly. Peace, God, I like that. And also, and see, you understand, because I wanted to start in Mecca.
I was here.
You know what I'm saying? It has to start in Mecca. You know what I mean?
That's where all knowledge, wisdom, understanding came from.
So that's why I'm bringing this information here.
Yeah,
You
good,
know what I mean? So we also have Allah World Manifest International Organization under agreement with the Board for Peace Officers. The Board for Peace Officers are the body of trustees that will govern that.
Speak up, Lord.
Raise your voice sound with the mic.
Please. So we also have the self-executed Universal Treaty for Peace, Freedom, Justice, and Equality. This peace treaty is basically outlining those following provisions: peace, freedom, justice, and equality. And there's all laws for peace, all laws for freedom, justice, and equality. It's like a 70-page document explaining all of those laws, breaking it all down. So we basically gonna have something that we can govern ourselves by, and if other nations want to accede to the treaty, then they can as well. So then we have and under agreement of that treaty, we have the peacekeeping force / monitoring group / ceasefire commission for Allah's 5% nation state. That commission is basically going to govern under a truce for ceasefire that we will have with the local authorities, military, National Guard, whomever, so they can't harm our nationals. And when they see us with our flags, the earth with their head wraps, and all of our international customary.
For a minute, my daughter's a national fashion.
Lord, let the drum good, please.
You know what I'm saying? When they see us with our international customary laws that we manifest through our customs, then we are identified. Like you see the dog here, you see the 7 on the hat, I would know, oh, he must be one of the 5%ers. That's one of their customs. You know what I'm saying? So he's able to be identified under international customary law. You know what I'm saying? So,
Stop me, man. I like that.
Allah U Justice, we also have Allah U Justice Revocable Divine Trust. This revocable divine trust is going to be the trust that we use to govern each of the different regions and turn these regions into trust territories. What is a trust territory? A trust territory is a territory that is governed by an administrative board to help uplift the social, economic, political, educational development of the people in that area. So all the different regions that we have, we will govern them in that manner so that therefore we can start the process of decolonization. And when you go into the United Nations Charter in 1945, it speaks about decolonization. 180 nations since 1945 have decolonized themselves. Parts of anybody got a water? Mouth is kind of parched. Anybody got a water? So we're starting that process of decolonization through these different trust territories. So by you governing these trust territories, through the acquiescence of the people conforming to the administration, this is how we start to decolonize these areas. And then put them under the laws of all of our different administrative documents, which means we will be governing these territories internationally. So we also have a law of justice estates, divine trust territories. The trust territories, like I just explained, are the different regions governed under trust. Board for divine trustee, board for divine trusteeship. This one is this is the one here. So under agreement with the Universal Family Divine Trust, if you watch the last month Parliament, Medina Parliament, I did a breakdown of the Universal Family Divine Trust, breaking down how the father being the divine captain, he was teaching the divine lieutenants, which were the non-born, and they went out and started these trust territories. And peep this, little did we know that we were presumptively inheriting our pre-independence boundaries, which is the definition of what's called uti possidetis jurisdiction. This is a Latin term which means the preserving of boundaries emerging as states, requiring them to presumptively inherit their pre-independence boundaries. That means that the lands that we turn into trust territories, by us governing these trust territories through the administration, we eventually start to decolonize them, and they become our decolonized lands. Because you got what's called state land and non-state land. I'll get into that in a minute. So now, the Board for Divine Trusteeship, we got 7 members to run that board. And that board is basically going to be the board that helps to govern the trust territories. They're going to be out there on the ground, taking surveys from the people, seeing what they need, attending to the needs and wants of the people, right? And then we have the International Board for Divine Trusteeship. This is where the heads of state of each administrative board for divine trusteeship from the 7 or elected or selected regions within the divine trust territories who are responsible for fostering the political, social, economic, educational, and cultural growth and development of all human families within these defined borders of each region. They will come together and have a meeting. This meeting is going to be the international convention for the Board for Divine Trusteeship. When we have this meeting, the same way they did in the Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of States, we will come together and put our own international laws into place. And I'm breaking this down to show y'all that this is how we actually get it done. You know what I'm saying? Following the protocol of international law. And there's what's called self-determination. Nobody is stopping us from doing anything for ourselves. Ain't no white man stopping us. Ain't no government stopping us. Ain't no devil. It's us. Only we can stop us from doing what we need to do. Period. It's called self-determination. And I'm gonna finish up these entities, y'all. I don't need to hold y'all too long. I'm gonna finish these entities. I'm gonna let
Peace. Somebody's building. Peace.
Peace. So we have the self-executing. All right. Okay. So all right. So then we have the resolution to adopt trust. Allow you justice estates for revocable divine trust. So the resolution is basically a document where you, it's a resolution stating that we adopt this trust, we will function under this trust and so forth. It's just one of the protocols you got to do in trust law. The declaration for trust is simply a declaration of the trust. It's a summation of the trust, who are the trustor, the trustees, beneficiaries, purpose of the trust and so forth. So we got the deed. We got the deed for trust for law and justice estates for revocable divine trust under agreement with the Board for Peace Officers. That is the governing body that will function that trust. Then we also have the law and justice estates multinational franchise under agreement with the franchise and franchisees. Now the franchise is an entity to help us make money, basically, to add-on in commerce. And it's a multinational franchise because we will be doing business with other nations. You know what I mean? So basically what the nation has to do is form or discover or create a gross domestic product or national gross domestic product that we can basically do business with around the world and interact with other nations through commerce. And last but not least, we have Allow You Justice, Decentralized Autonomy, Decentralized Organization for Autonomy. It's a DAO. And that basically is a form of governance that's not taxed. It's a form of commerce that's not taxed by the government. That's what it means by being decentralized. So this is how we have a commerce that is already in a non-taxable status, so we don't have to necessarily worry about tax exemption because we're already non-taxable. And thank y'all for attention. I'll let my plane on that. Peace.
You must do your own research, as I did.
If Mecca did this.